Hey y'all, Roadhammer here. I've been following a conversation about farm exemptions and covered farm vehicles, and I want to lay out what those rules actually do on the ground for real farms and real drivers. This isn't a shot at any one person. It's about making sure we don't fix one problem and create three more. One, what a covered farm vehicle actually is. In FMCSA's language, a covered farm vehicle is a farm-plated truck or combination that's controlled by a farmer or rancher, driven by the farmer, a family member, or an employee, hauling that farm's own agricultural commodities, livestock, machinery, or supplies. If it's 26,001 pounds or less, those CFV exemptions can apply anywhere in the U.S. If it's over 26,001, the relief generally applies in-state and within 150 air miles of the farm when you cross the line. Under 49 CFR 39039, that vehicle and driver are exempt from CDL, HOS, and inspection maintenance rules in that narrow box. 2. What counts as agricultural commodity? For these exemptions, agricultural commodity isn't just a buzzword. FMCSA defines it as agricultural commodities, non-processed food, feed, fiber, or livestock. That includes things like raw milk, live cattle, fruits and vegetables, grain that hasn't been milled, and nursery stock, as long as it's only been minimally handled, cleaned, cooled, trimmed, bagged, or packaged to move. Once you get into heavily processed food, canned, frozen, or otherwise significantly changed from its raw state, it usually falls outside that exemption bucket, even though it started on a farm. 3. Why the exemptions exist in the first place. FMCSA has said more than once that it does not intend to pile new regulations onto farmers moving their own product to market. The idea is pretty simple. Give family farms and ranches some flex to move their own commodities, livestock, machinery, and supplies without having to operate like a full-blown for-hire interstate carrier, as long as they stay in their lane on who owns the freight, how far they go, and how they use those vehicles. That's how a lot of us were raised. Farm rig, farm plate, farm commodities, tight radius, and you go back to the barn when you're done. 4. The real problem? Abuse versus honest use. Where things go sideways is when a CFV or farm plate turns into a shield for what is basically a for-hire operation, hauling other people's freight, running well outside the radius, or using paper farms to dodge training, med cards, or HOS. That's not what 39039 and the ag commodity rules were written for, and I'm the first to say those abuses need to be shut down hard. But there's a big difference between that and a legitimate farm kid running his grandfather's cattle and milk between the farm, the plant, the sale barn, and home under the rules FMCSA actually put on paper. 5. The question we should be asking. So when we talk about fixing farm exemptions, the key question isn't, are exemptions bad? It's, can we target the abuse without wiping out the tools honest farms use to survive? If you wipe out or massively tighten these exemptions across the board, you're not just hitting bad actors, you're also hitting small farms that are already running thin margins and using CFVs exactly the way the regs imagined. A smarter path is better data, clearer definitions of what counts as a CFV in the stats, and real enforcement on paper farms and for-hire fleets hiding under farm tags instead of nuking the whole framework and calling that safety. I'm not anti-safety and I'm not anti-driver. I'm pro-precision. Let's fix what's broken without breaking what's working for real farms and real communities. Thank you for watching this video.